Another reason why I like doing this fall demonstration concert is because, kind of different from our kindergarten graduation where you had to search through a sea of children just to find your own, instead, they're all here, right? You can just see them right up front. Another reason I like doing our fall demonstration concert is because since we do it at the beginning of the year, this kind of just gives you guys a taste of what we're going to be learning, the concepts all throughout first grade music. So, you're going to hear some instruments, you're going to see some circle dancing, you're going to hear some singing, and our first song actually is about a marshmallow. When I think of the fall, I think of roasting marshmallows over a campfire, maybe not tonight because it's really cold. But usually, I don't mind it. And our first song is about the journey of a marshmallow from the beginning to a stick to the end. We'll see what happens. This is Ode to a Marshmallow. Sticks out. My first year here, this is my third year teaching and my third year in Smithville. My first year, since our first grade fall program comes right up before Thanksgiving, I always try to find a turkey song. My first year we did a turkey jazz song. My second year we did a turkey tango, and this year I really outdid myself. I found a turkey hip-hop rap song. So, I know the spirit's gonna move you to want to get into it, move around, that's just fine by me, feel free. This is turkey hip-hop.
This is the song we know.
Thank you. our next piece. Instruments, go. So, our next song that we're gonna do is a tone poem. And what a tone poem is it's telling a story, and the story that we're gonna use this time is called The Magic Fish. And it illustrates stuff going on in the story using instruments. So we might hear certain things going on, and the instruments better help illustrate it. So it's really great for having students visualize in music class, and also incorporate both reading words and reading music, and which is a great thing for critical thinking, right? Which is what we're all about here. I wish Dr. Platt was here to hear that. All right, so this is Magic Fish. We have a guest reader, the wonderful Miss Williams. Let me check on my notes. Ready? All right, The Magic Fish.
Once upon a time, there was an old fisherman and his wife who were so poor that they were forced to live in a ketchup bottle. The old woman kept a clean house and polished the bottle until it shines bright as the sun. One day, the old man decided to catch a fish for their supper. He walked through a meadow, along a path, and over a bridge, and at last he reached the bank of the river. Then he dropped a line down into the water. He immediately hooked a large fish who fought ferociously. Finally, after a great struggle, the old man brought the fish up onto the riverbank. What a good supper this fish will make, he thought. My wife will be pleased. Just then, the fish opened his mouth and said, "Throw me back into the water, fisherman. Let me go, and I will give you any wish, because I am a magic fish." The old man thought about his wife, who always complained about their cramped home in their ketchup bottle, and said, "I'll let you go, magic fish, if you grant me a wish. A big brick house with windows and glass, a proper home is what I ask." After a pause, the fish answered, "Very well, go see what you have." So the old man hurried home to tell his wife the news. He ran over the bridge and along the path. And when he got to the meadow where their house stood, he stopped and gazed in amazement. There, in place of the old ketchup bottle, was a brick house with windows that flashed in the sun. And there on the front porch was his wife, happily sweeping the floor. And for a while, all was well. But one morning, the old woman looked at her husband and said, "My husband, go see that fish. Tell him I want another wish." A house made of stone with many floors and maids and butlers at each of the doors. The old man was so nervous to call the fish again, but his wife was in a bad mood, so he did as he was told.
Smart man.
He walked through the meadow, along the path and over the bridge until he reached the bank of the river, and then he called to the fish,
"Fish, fish, oh magic fish, I have a wish."
There was a great rumbling in the water, but finally the fish's head appeared up out of the water, and he said, "Well, what do you want?" The old man said, "My wife is unhappy, magic fish. She must have another wish. A house made of stone with many floors, and maids and butlers at each of the doors." There was a long pause while the fish thought, and finally he said, "Very well, go see what you have." The old man walked back over the bridge, along the path, and into the meadow. And there stood an enormous stone house with many floors. Servants were sweeping the stone driveway, and the windows shined bright in the sunlight. And for about a week, all was well. But one morning, the old woman woke up and said to her husband, "Although our house is fine indeed, a castle and a moat are what I need. Tell that fish and make him see a queen is what I ought to be." The old man opened his mouth to say no, but took one look at his wife's face, and it scared him enough to stay quiet and hurry out of the house instead. Soon he was walking through the meadow, along the path, and over the bridge to the river. When he reached the bank, he nervously called to the fish,
"Fish, fish, oh magic fish, I have a wish."
but there was no answer. The old man nervously called a bit louder,
"Fish, fish, oh magic fish, I have a wish."
Still, the fish did not answer. Worried, the old man leaned over to the river bank and sang quite loudly,
"Fish, fish,
motion in the water, and through the huge tidal wave, a fish's head went up. The fish looked at the fisherman angrily and said, "Well, what do you want this time?" The old fisherman was slow to answer, but at last he said, "My wife made me call you Magic Fish. She must have a final wish, a wife and a mode. From this, you see, a queen is what she wants to be." And there was a very long silence. And then the fish said, "Very well, go see what you have." Once again, the fish walked over the bridge.
Along the path.
Along the path.
And through the river. And then, what did he see once he got back to his...
I'm not sure.
It was not a castle, but in fact, it was their old ketchup bottle, and they still live there to this day.
And the moral of the story is...
Be happy with what you have.
And sometimes being happy with what you have may be being happy with one less page of the story. So, we're going to get ready. Can we move back to our bus driver first? All right, this department. No matter how many times you do that, it's nerve-wracking. once this concert is over, I just kind of wanted to point you on down to the gym. Mrs. Haddock has set up a whole bunch of artwork that the first graders have been working on. Kind of like in here, we're seeing the concepts that we're learning early in music. Down in the gym, there's tons of art that shows off the concepts they've been learning in art so far this year. Also, thank you to you guys. Like, parents have been so helpful. That it's just been a joy working with your kids, and these kids are just such a reflection of you guys. So thank you so much. I love seeing this class every time. Thank you to Ms. Williams, who came here tonight and just is a great teacher. The past 3 years I've worked with her, we've become closer and closer friends every year. So she's awesome. Show's not over though. This is the time that I like to get everybody involved. I'm all about audience participation. So what we're going to do is we're going to let each kid grab one person in the audience, and that last dance we did, you're going to be helping us out with it. Ready, kids?
Max, come here. Stay by me.
Alright, we take dance, we're all family here in Smithville. Here we go. Can I get a bigger circle? Yes, a big circle.
He wanted you to go. Huh? He wanted you to go.
Ready? My first time we go through this, I'll talk you through the first time, and then the second and third time you guys do without me. If you get lost, just watch me. Alright? Here we go. We're going to start going this way. Ready? Here we go.